leaving the hotel this morning, getting on the Star of the Seas today out of Port Canaveral. Here we go.
Welcome to the Holy Roller, where it's all about playing craps, earning free cruises, and a whole lot more. Thanks for watching. Now let's get rolling.
We decided to stay at the Holiday Inn Express, not a sponsor, by the way, but here in Port Canaveral, which is within walking distance if you don't have a lot of luggage, which we don't.
But they should be a sponsor because this is a good hotel. Highly recommend.
Okay, across is the resort hotel. So when you stay at the Holiday Inn Express, you can have access to the pool at the resort, the Holiday Inn Vacation Club, it's called. But like I said, not a sponsor, but my email is in the description, Holiday Inn. It's right across from Terminal 3. And look at, there's the Star of the Seas, Terminal 1. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Now, as of right now, the Star of the Sea is the newest, largest cruise ship in the world. Now, we could have taken an Uber or a Lyft, but really it's just a couple blocks away and it's a nice, good morning walk. Okay, so the cost of this cruise per person was $3,055. So it would have been a little over $6,000 for us to be on this cruise. However, because of what we do here at the channel, if you didn't know, it's $156 a person. $156 instead of $3,055. I'll take that deal any day. You might say, Brian, are you seriously gonna roll your luggage all that way? How much luggage do you have? And if you haven't heard already, if you're bringing more than a backpack and a rolling bag, you're probably bringing too much. I'm on this cruise 7 nights. Then I'm on 3 other cruises, 4, 3, 4. So whatever, 20 days. That's all I need. Huh?
We do laundry on the ship.
Oh yeah, yeah, but come on. All right, there we go. Cruise Terminal 1. And it took about, what, 30 minutes?
Yep.
Just barely walking, but not a power walk or anything, but you know, we're here. All right, so here we are going through the lines, going towards security. Pretty much just like going to airport security. Okay, made it through security. Now we go up towards check-in. Now we just decided to keep our luggage with us. You can give it to the porters. It's recommended between $3 to $5 for a tip if you give it to the porters. However, you won't get your luggage until after 3 p.m. So always keep at least a backpack with you with your vitals, stuff that you want, or maybe money or whatever, medicine, stuff like that. But we just keep our whole bags with us and we just roll them through with us and keep them with us. That way when the rooms are ready around 1, we can get into our rooms with our luggage. Okay, this is check-in, and now this is where you need your documents and your C-Pass. Now, once you get in, if we were here too early, we would all be sitting in these chairs waiting for the ship to open, but we are here at around 10:30, and so we are getting on board right now. Are you excited?
Yes.
Star of the Seas. We've been on the Icon, which is an Icon class ship. There's only 2 of them out right now, which is the Icon and the Star of the Seas. And whenever you come on, you can get pictures and stuff, but we're just gonna get straight on. We'll get our pictures later, you know what I'm saying? Let's get on. All right, moment of truth, here we go. Star of the Seas. Wow, the pearl. Good morning. All right, so the first thing we do when we get on board is go to our muster station or assembly station, and that is A1. So let's go find A1. Don't get dizzy. So these elevators are unique. If you want to go to 6, it'll tell you to go over to C, and then boom, it's ready to go. Bring you straight up, and then when you come in, there's like no buttons to press, so you have to press the buttons out there. The assembly station is basically the emergency station that you would go to if there was an emergency and we had to get into lifeboats. So the emergency sounds, and that's what everybody needs to do before we even set sail. You need to check you need to check into your assembly station before we can leave. So that is done. Let's go to eat. So we decided to come to the Aquadome Market. This is a place to eat. There's all kinds of places to eat on board. We're not gonna go to the Windjammer, which is the, what is that? The buffet. We're gonna just come here and grab some food and have some comfy seats. And then what do we do next? I'll show you right now. So now that we grabbed some food, what we're gonna do is get online with the Wi-Fi on the ship and select our shows, because this one has an amazing show that I do not want to miss. So pretty much you go to your settings and go onto Wi-Fi, and then Star Guest is what you're looking for. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it is. Star Guest. Select. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, there it goes. There you go. Okay, then we're on. Then you go over to your Royal app and press Internet. Now, even if you don't have the internet, it will say free internet or whatever. If you don't purchase it, it's free. You can use it for free. Once it pops up and says free, go over to the daily planner and you'll be able to search and put all kinds of things onto your calendar. And some of them, so say you wanted to, oh, let's do the meet and greet of the personal trainer. I want to add it to my calendar. Once you do that, then when you go back to your calendar, then you'll see that it's on my calendar, you know, and then you could just select everything that you want to do on your journey, on your cruise. And so what we want to do is we want to go and look for the show that, oh man, I can't wait. There is this Aqua Theater show, which is in here. You're definitely going to want to see that when you're on any Oasis or Icon class ship. Go to the Aqua show, but we're looking for this right here. Look, Back to the Future, the musical. Let's put that on and see how it says reserve. We reserve it, and then there's no extra cost, but you do have to reserve it so that you can get into the show. Let's do it on day 3. Yeah, we're gonna do it on day 3. Yes. All right. Then, see, let's do. Oh wow, 2:30. I want to watch it at the 2:30 time. That would be awesome. Let's do that. And it's, see, add to cart. Simple, doesn't cost money, but we're in to the show. Maybe we might see it another time, but we're at least on that afternoon show. 2:30 in the afternoon. Yes. So you pretty much do that for all of your planning and what you want to do while you're eating until the rooms are ready. Now it is early for us. The rooms aren't ready until about 1 or 1:30, so we have time to go check out the casino. So after I eat, let's go there. So now we head over to the casino to check it out, and we need to see what times this casino's open. There is the craps table. Stop by and say hi. See you a little bit later, buddy. And then we're gonna go over to the casino host to see what the casino host hours are, but also what are the hours of the actual casino. And here are the hours of operation. Now, why do I want to know when these open? Because I want to plan my casino time just like I would plan my other shows as well, because I want to get the free cruise offers, you know, where this only paid, like I said before, we only had to pay $156 for this trip. And this is why we get points in the casino. Once you get a certain amount of points, you get a free sailing and free play. So this one was one of those offers, and so we got here for only having to pay taxes and port fees. So that is something that's really interesting and different about a casino on a ship. It's not open 24 hours. Now on sea days they're open, but not all the time. So you do have to plan the time around when you're gonna play and be in the casino, because like I said, it's not open all the time. But even if it is open, doesn't necessarily mean that the craps table is open. So this is why it's very important to plan out your trip and plan out how much time you're gonna spend, at least for me. How much time am I gonna spend at this craps table? Because you might say, how long does it take to earn a free cruise? Come over here, okay. The thing about craps that's different than all the other games in the entire casino is craps, you can bet once and the money stays there until somebody throws a 7, right? But you bet once and your money stays there the entire time. Every other game in this whole casino, you have to bet one time for one result. This Craps is the only game in the casino where you could bet one time and get multiple results out of your bet. And that's why I like craps, because it is the best way, in my opinion, it's the best way to get a free cruise. $300 playing craps for like 12 hours, so maybe 3 hours a night, 2 hours a night, you could have a free cruise for $300. I've done it. Now, nowadays, because I want to be on these higher, bigger ships, I bring $1,000. So, and I use the $1,000. If I lose the $1,000, okay, and still get the free cruise, at least I'm still getting a pretty good discount, which brings me to my next point. Don't bring too much money. What I mean is don't bring more than what the cruise costs, because I always say you can't lose if you earn a free cruise unless you spent too much for that free cruise. So I try to make sure that I don't bring more than $1,000 on any cruise that I come on, and I usually get a free cruise out of it. So like I said, this would have been $6,000, but I got it for like $300, right? For both of us to be here. And I used $1,000 and actually won a little bit of money. So I think I walked away with $500 and a free cruise. Well, we checked out some of the casino and we heard an announcement that the rooms are ready. So let's get over there. Okay, so we are on deck 9. So we'll go to the elevators and we'll press 9. And it will tell us to go to I. Okay, and we'll go straight to 9. Again, when you get in the elevator, there's no button. It just goes to 5 and 9 directly. Wow. Well, we made it to 9, and so now finding our room is much like, I guess finding your room in like a hotel. Like it just shows you, what are we, 9520, I think. All right, now our cards are there, and let's get into the room. All right, look at this. Wow. Wow. Yes. All right, it's not a balcony, but oh wow, look, they have a little, you can sit, there's a bed to sit here. And that is closed to guests, just so you know. So it's not like people will be standing there. But look, it's like we get, oh my goodness, oh. Well, getting to your stateroom is not the end of what we have to do today, because the next thing we have to do is check the dining option to make sure. So what we're gonna do is, if you look at your card, you will see that at the bottom of the card is your dining time. I know you can't see that, but even I can't. Look, I'm a grandpa, so I have to read it like this. It says dining at table 846. So we're about to find out if that's the right table. If not, we have to talk to the maitre d'. We're at the front of the ship, and the dining is in the back of the ship. So let's go check out the dining to see if we're at the right table or not. Well, this is not gonna work because it's supposed to be a table for 2, and this is where we're gonna be sitting. I don't think so. Okay, so the 2 benefits of getting your card and then going checking out the table is that you know where your table is. That's number 1. Number 2, you know if it's the right table. Okay, so when you book, you could say a table for 2, but if you don't say the word private table for 2, and even if you do say private table for 2, sometimes they might put you at a table like that. Then you have to go to the maitre d' and see if you can get your table changed, and you want to do that as soon as possible if you're going to eat tonight. If not, you're going to be stuck at that table. That's all I'm saying. So whenever it's dinner time, these doors will open, and if you know where your table is, you can just go straight to your table and sit down. That's why it's important to know where your table is before dinner time. So that's what I was doing, checking my table. The other thing, checking to see if it's right. It's not, so let's go to the maitre d'. Okay, so this is the next level down. It's still in the dining room, but this is where the maitre d' is to make some changes. So I don't know if it's this one or this one, but this has a shorter line, so I'm gonna check right here. Okay, we got the room, we got the table switched to our room. So there's 706, deck 5. So now we go back up to deck 5, check out 706, see if it's a table for 2 like we want it to be. Okay, let's check this one, 702. 702. I see 704. Ah, man, same thing. 702. Okay. No, 706. 706. Wow. Okay. This is it. Very nice. Okay, there is people right next to us, but at least we're not at the same table. Okay, 706. Here it is. Bench and chair. Whew, that was a big one. I should do a whole designated video about this whole dining room experience and how people do my time dining, but then they don't realize that my time dining is not your time. There's a certain time that you have to go. You can't go at any time unless you make a reservation. So even if you have my time, you still have to make a reservation. Or it's like showing up to a restaurant and waiting for a table to open, then they see you. But my time doesn't start until like a certain time. And so a lot of times people want my time dining, but they want to go early, but they can't go early. See, that's why I should do a whole separate video just for that. But at least we're at a table for two like we wanted to be. Okay, we're almost done, but we do need to go to guest services and check to make sure that we have the right credit card on file. But we can also do that on the app. So maybe I'll show you how to do that on the app, but we also want to talk to guest services. So before your room or your cabin is ready, you can check out the casino. You can go tour the ship and all that. But once your room is ready, you'll see the cards are right there. They'll announce that the rooms are ready, and all the cards are just pretty much right outside your room. See? And then basically, like I said, check to see your room, your table. Check your room, make sure everything's right. Check your table, and then why are we going to guest services? It's very important because if you prepaid your gratuities, or are your gratuities going to be charged each and every day? Let's talk about that. All right, you go over to the app, and if you press the calendar, you'll see more down here at the bottom, and then you see account. Press your account, and then it will pop up and it'll show you, oh, look, we have $200 of onboard credit. That's awesome. But then it says your card number, and you can change your card, or if it doesn't have a card, you can add a card. And so that's what you want to make sure to do on the app or at guest services. Okay, now we go to guest services to turn off our gratuities. Now, I know this is very controversial, but I'm only turning mine off because we bring cash to give for the gratuities, and we don't prepay gratuities. It's $18.50 or more per day per person. So I leave Amber's on and I turn mine off because we give cash. So it turns out on a 7-day cruise to be a couple $100. And so what I like to do is give cash to my room attendant, my dinner servers, and whenever I give tips for drinks and stuff like that. Now I could leave it on and then pay double tips or double gratuities, because the way to think about it is like this. Gratuities are for the people behind the scenes, the people you don't see. And so that's why we leave Amber's on, so that those go to all those people. And then I turn mine off so I can take cash and give it to the people that we do see. So that's the way I do it. Hey, I know I'll be criticized for that, maybe, perhaps, but that's the way I'm doing it, and that's the way I choose to do it. But I did want to let you know, this is what I do. I go to gratuities, I go to guest services and turn off my gratuities. And so then I can give cash tips to everyone. So anyway, I'm waiting in line. So one thing that a lot of people don't know about is that the gratuities start charging on the second day. And so you have about 24 hours and they'll start charging. A lot of people don't know about that. They get to the end of their cruise and they see the $18 a day. And so you can also pay it all at once or let it come off of your credit card but it comes off each and every day. But this is the thing, because it doesn't charge on the first day, once it does start charging, it looks like you got double charged because it didn't charge on the first day. A lot of people have that confusion, and they come to guest services and they're like, where did all these charges come from? They came from your gratuities. So at least know about that before you cruise. Okay, so now that's all taken care of. And so let me tell you again, and I know this has been like a large portion of the video talking about gratuities, but let me just say, when it comes to gratuities, it splits up your $18 per day for all of the crew members that get tips. When you do the math on that $18 a day over the course of 1 week determines that you are giving each crew member 5 cents or a nickel, okay? And so with Amber's gratuities, we're gonna give all the crew members a nickel. with my gratuities that I turned off, that I'm carrying cash around, I'll be giving $20, $30, $50 to people instead of a nickel. Now you might say, hey, if every passenger does a nickel, that can add up. But I just don't feel good about giving a nickel to my room attendant, so I'm gonna be giving them more money. That's why I turn off my gratuities, so I can give them more than just a nickel. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Well, anyway. Now, I'm gonna actually head down to the casino to record another video. In fact, did you know that you can bring some extra dice and roll out on the craps table while the casino is closed? That's what I'm gonna do. And if you wanna see that video, go ahead and watch that here. Don't forget to subscribe, and I wanted to thank you for watching. And again, I hope to see you cruising and rolling on a craps table soon. See ya.